What's a dream that you've had since childhood that you've never pursued, and why? Could be a dream job, it could be a dream avocation, something. What's a dream that you've had since you were a kid, but you never ended up pursuing, and why?
Dream is a stretch, but I always thought that I would do the backpacking thing through Europe. I never got that opportunity to do that. I've talked to my children about they want to go to Japan, and we were considering at some point, and maybe that's still on the table, where we would go and do
totally. You got to get to
do
Japan.
that sort of thing in Japan.
Yeah.
My
amazing.
youngest has been to Japan.
Yeah.
The thing I always wanted to learn, I'm throwing out a couple things. I always wanted to learn Italian just because of my heritage.
Another language. Yeah.
And I have been working on it. I've been working on it for 6 months.
It's hard for us. It's hard for us at this age to do a language.
It's very difficult, and I've never been good at it. I took Italian in college, and I didn't remember. I think a year after I was done, forgot everything that I.
As you get older, you just start translating it, right? You run a translator in your head, and it just slows you down too much.
But the one dream that so it's interesting. I grew up in a restaurant atmosphere, like you were around a comedy club. When I was 4 years old, I was at the restaurant watching my dad cook, and my mom was the hostess. So I learned very quickly. I could see at a young age that it was so difficult for both of them. But I liked the idea of owning a business. I just didn't like that business. And then I also, on the other side, my grandfather owned the funeral home, as you know. So I grew up in that business. My dream was always to start a business.
Yeah.
What I struggled with for so many years until we got to Content Marketing Institute was what can I start? What can I don't have any real talents. Like what do I start? And then that's when it all came together, where I enjoy public speaking. I enjoy writing. I love talking about persuasion, those types of things. And that's ultimately it came to the point where you and I met in 2008 in Chicago.
Screwed it up for so many people.
God, that meeting never, like, we should do a sliding. I would love to see a sliding doors if we never met at Scott Abel's event.
Yeah.
And it just, what would have happened?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about doing, we both basically helped each other's confidence that this was the right direction for marketing to go.
100%. I mean, it was, I remember the moment, right, in that restaurant where you and I went and had that in Chicago, where you and I went and had that big steak dinner, and we talked about life, and we talked about business, and we talked about marketing. And it was just like, this is where I'm hitching my wagon, right? It was a good meal.